Alright folks, it's time for Shang Tsung. So instead of showing you every single ability that he has, I'm going to take you through some of the abilities that I find useful, and I'll tell you how to play with him generally. So we'll look at his useful normals. So we'll start with his fastest combo starter, standing 1. So it's 8 frames of startup. It's actually +2, or +1, or +2 sometimes, depending on its variable apparently. +1, if you do 1-1, then it's -2. Which is great, and they're still in range for another 1-1, depending on how far you are. Like if you're stuck to them as glue. And it's an auto shimmy, so it looks exactly like a grab. Not exactly, but it looks like a grab. That's why sometimes people let go of block, you enter it all, and then they get launched. It's 3 hits, so it's perfect to shimmy people. That's why when Shang Tsungs are up close, because you know, ideally Shang Tsungs, they have long-ranging normals, like 4-2 for example, even back 1. Those are nice long-ranging mid, but they're slow, right? This one is 17 frames, this one is 14 frames. So Shang Tsung, he doesn't have any very strong up-close mids, but he has the 1-1, which is so fast. First 8 frames and 11 frames, that it's like, it's very dangerous to try to OS duck him or even down to him. You have to be quick if you're gonna like dodge the first one and then punish him before the mid comes. Which is why I think that when he's up close, he's fine, even though that's a high. So yeah, that's an auto shimmy. You're trying to get them to let go of block and launch them. And by staggering this, eventually you want to just grab them, right? So they have to try to react. They don't know if it's going to be the ender, the 4, or if it's going to be just a stagger into a grab, or just a setting one. You know, it's very difficult to see. It happens so fast. That's one of his strengths when he's up close. Even if he does 1-1-4, which is -8, it's not punishable. It's too far, and you can even special cancel it, right? So if you try to take back your turn when you see the 4 coming, maybe you'll get a ball in your. That sounded naughty. Maybe you'll get a fireball in your face. Still sounds naughty. You know, if you are conditioned to constantly look for the fireball, and then you notice, oh, he doesn't do the fireball, maybe by the time you get closer, he's gonna get a down 4 in, which, by the way, down 4 is great. It low profile stuff. Look how he lowers his body. His down 1 is, down 3, I mean, is not as good, right? You usually want to go for down 4, it has more range. It's just 1 frame slower, 9 frames. Or you want to go for, did I say down 1? I meant down 4. Or you want to go for down 1. So I would say down 1 or down 4. Down 4 ideally. Because with Shang Tsung, it's fine if you poke them away. Like that, right? It gels. I'll prove it. Oh, does it gel? So what's the hit advantage? 17. Still up 17. So it doesn't perfectly gel, but they won't have time to poke or do anything else. They might have time to jump if you're a little bit late. So for example, if I get him to jump, does this. See? But that's fine. He doesn't have time to get an attack in. So if you wait too long, you're going to be out of range for the back 1, but not out of range for the 4-2. But that's fine. If you want to use back 1, you're at such high hit advantage that you can even take a step forward and poke before whatever they're trying to do comes out, even if that's a down 2 or something like that, right? Going back to the standing 1-1, standing 1-1-2. Is there a flawless bucket? There is, and it's not punishable. -4. I mean, based on frames, they can obviously up to you. Is there a flawless block gap with 4? No. So the mind game is someone's going to try to interrupt the 1-1-2, which is plus, and if they try to interrupt, you do 4. So that's why with the 4, which has no gap, that's why it prevents people from trying to flawless block the 2, which ideally, if you have really fast reactions, what you ideally want to do is on hit, you hit confirm with 4. You see that it hits, you press 4, and then you do that. And on block, you see that it's a block, you press 2. And then you can push forward with 4-2, but it's not a frame trap. I'll show you. I'll get the other guy to reversal backdash. Right, so don't be scared if Shang Tsung does that to you. Like, even if he tries to lift me. Alright, so if I'm here, he's in range, but if I just move back, he doesn't have time to get me. So don't be afraid to backdash after Shang does 1-1-2. If you're the Shang, what you want to do if someone backdashes like I showed you is just to take a step forward. You're like running after them. Or if you know they're going to move, you can just throw a projectile. In one of the guides, the early guides that I made, where I explained all the characters in like 1 minute, it's one of my most popular videos based on views, I said that I count people with punishers, and what I meant by that is that they have long-ranging normals. They can fight in the neutral, and they can do things like this. Backdash into that. Now, this stagger is -3 only. That's a good stagger. This stagger here, -2. Those are all great frames to have to stagger. It's not just 2 frames to react, it's just 2 frames where I'm stuck in stun again, and he can move before me, right? So this is actually a reactable stagger, I would say. Look at how slow it is, right? It's only -2, but look at how slow it is. And combined with this terrible backdash, which has to be one of the worst in the game, but his movement is not very good. Front dash is not bad though. Backdash is terrible, so it's going to be a little bit hard to whiff punish people. Simply because moving out of the way is hard, but you can still do it. I've done it. Especially if you have been showing that you stagger like that, and you don't move, right? Just stagger and then you continue. Eventually, they're going to try to interrupt, and when they try to interrupt, that's when you have the ability to backdash just a tiny little bit, especially if you if you poke from a bit farther away. You know, there's space here. I see this? You don't even have to really move. You should, though, in case they use a long-ranging move, but because of the spacing, you're going to be able to do something. So I'm going to touch him, he does a poke, right? So if I do this, right? But if I'm up close... Oh no, okay, so let's... It's just his down 1 that has no range, so let's use down 4 instead. Right, so if I'm close, can't backdash. If I have a little bit more space, I can still backdash because of the space. It's a little bit difficult to create that space, but keep in mind this AI is moving as fast as a computer can move, right? I'm still able to punish him, even though he used a long-ranging normal, long-ish. I was still able to move. A human's gonna be slower, so it's definitely gonna work against a human. Same goes for forward 2. Like forward 2 against the AI, it's hard to show you because it doesn't work against the AI. The AI is too fast. When you add the delay that a human can react, especially online, you're gonna be able to do stuff like forward 2 and to backdash forward 2 again, right? That's entirely possible online. You can also use standing 3, look at the spacing, and standing 4. I would actually use standing 3 instead because there's more spacing. And it's 0, right? So you can reinforce with something even like back 1. Now it doesn't touch, but we're assuming that the opponent is gonna do something. And that's when you can either back away and hit, or just hit, right? So let's do something like, let's say my opponent does, on reversal he does that, right? So I move him back. If I don't move, he gets me. Obviously, you could interrupt with a fast-standing 1 if they use a long-ranging move that's slow because of the spacing. So we create space, and then you hit. It's a little bit risky though, easy to get caught. So you could always create space, move back a little bit. That's much safer, right? I would recommend you move a tiny little bit back if it's someone that has a long-range move like a Shang. Otherwise, if it's a tiny T-Rex arm person like Sonya, you don't even have to move, just stand there and then press 1-1. There you go. Okay, so we talked about standing 3 just to create space on lock. So if we look at it in a string, you know, that's a popular one, inside strings, because it's pretty damaging, but people use it on block as well, right? You can just complete it, -16, you lose your turn, you're not going to get punished. Unless someone has a fast reversal. I don't want to test it, but I'm assuming Sub-Zero would be able to punish this. But even on block, you could do something like this. -10 this time, not as minus, right? If someone like reversal punishes you. Now this is not reversal punishable, but if they make the read that you're going to do the high, they might just duck it. So you have to be unpredictable. See, it does in jail. Like on block, if I keep blocking here, I'm not going to be able to get a punish in. But if I just duck, now it's a full combo punish. Like the other Shang could also amp it. Oh, hold on, it's too high, right? They can't, even if they amp, doesn't matter. But if from time to time someone does this, right, you expect the fireball, you let go of block, oh, it's a high. Since you're getting mixed, because that's a mix-up, then you're prone to respect it, so that means that you can simply throw it out there from time to time, make sure you mix it. And the purpose of doing this starter is to hit confirm, because it is hit confirmable. It's super slow, right? Gives you plenty of time to look and see if something happens. Standing 4, you see how it's more damaging? Standing 4 is something you want to do in combos, like if I do something simple, like for example... Right, so I use standing 4, I got more damage 263 compared to 252, right? So a little bit more damage. Try to use standing 4 instead of standing 3 inside combos. So, okay, the back 1, let's go back to that one. A lot of people, they do back 1 into down 2. There's an overhead. If the overhead catches you, there's a crushing blow in there. Triggers if the overhead chop hits by itself. So you have to keep blocking high. It's a fuzzy. As soon as you see this, the back 1, you start standing. So you can start blocking low and then high. And since people are so scared of that overhead, you can throw out the reptile if you have it. If you have variation 3, which by the way I think is probably one of the stronger variations. I don't think it's reactable. Even though the animation is completely different, it's frames are 2 frames apart, I doubt that it's reactable. So we're gonna look at two more strings, parent strings I would call them. 2 more string starters, and that's gonna be it for the normals. So again, in terms of just usefulness, there's 1-1. In terms of starter, there's standing 3, there's 4-2, there's back 1, and then there's back 3. So we're gonna look at 4-2 now. So I showed you this already, how you can move a little bit, but just even if you don't move, right, it's a good stagger. You're in range for 1-1. Are you in range for a back grab? Yeah. It's a little bit like, you see how it's a good stagger and under pressure, but it's on the end of the less good staggers, on the fair staggers. Like for example, if we compare that to a Jackie or Liu Kang, how fast their staggers are. This is not as fast. Still not bad, I would say fair. Okay, so you do 4-2-4, -11, nice spacing. Probably not going to get punished by anything from here. So you could stop it there and do something else. You could, you know, continue with back 1-1, but just keep in mind, like, it's -11, right? You're not going to be able to do that very often. Make sure you mix it. Sometimes you complete it, and that's +4. There's a flawless block gap. If someone tries to flawless block you, you end it with 3. And that covers a flawless block. So again, this character was designed very intelligently. I absolutely love it when, if someone is plus on block, they should always be a flawless block gap. Great. For example, Kano doesn't have that, and I hate it completely. But Shang does have flawless block gaps on his plus frames. So, okay, I like that. And also there's an alternative for him as a mix, which is great, because you have to guess, either guess or make the read. So same thing for 4-2. 4-2-4-2, there's a gap, +4. You're in range for the back 3. Back 3 is 10 frames, 10 -4 equals 6 frames. So this would hit, if I'm frame perfect, on the 6th frame. Unless you're Garrus, Sub-Zero, Aaron Black, someone with a 6 frame down 1. You cannot contest this. This is a frame trap. But what you could do is back away. So for example, again, you don't want to respect plus frames too often, even though it's a frame trap. And sometimes it doesn't even touch, right? So let's, yeah, okay, back 1 touches now, but if I stand, it whiffed. So back, I'm in back 3. So let's try to backdash. Oh no, you can't backdash, but you can jump. Let's try to backdash while standing. Okay, you can backdash if you stand at the end, not if you keep low. You can jump. Can you jump? Let's do it again. Okay, you can't jump apparently. Oh my god. Okay, so it's because I'm not standing. You have to stand first. So I recommend standing if you think it's gonna do his plus frames, or just whatever ender he uses here. Just stand. There's no low. All right. And then obviously his counter would be to just do that down to you, or standing 3, or force stiff if he has it. But yeah, there's no BS with 4-2. It's a hit confirmable move. That's it. That's all essentially. You see this, you hit confirm it. I mean, you can do the Ermac lift if you have it. You get more damage with this one. And then your Ermac. Boom, down 2, and I missed it. But imagine that it touched, right? If you only have Ermac, you can Ermac lift him. Bang, bang. If you have the other variation, you can hit confirm it. Can I hit confirm it, please? The damage is low. That's one of the weaknesses of Shang. So his movement is not very good. And his damage is low. His staggers have good frames, but they're more reactable than some of the casts, I would say. He's a good zoner too, especially with corpse drop. Do I have corpse drop, please? All right, I have corpse drop. Like this, it's directable. It's an overhead. It's pretty goddamn fast for an overhead, right? And then there's the low, so you have to keep constantly guessing. Like if you watch Foxy Grandpa play Shang, he annoys people with corpse drop like this. It's not even an ability, it's a special. And also, like from far, you have this hit confirmable ground eruption, which a lot of people don't use anymore, but I still think it's great. The damage is not high, that's the only thing, but it's fine. It's a projectile. Is that a projectile? I don't know, it's a special. Oh, here you go, projectile. So you know that Soul Steel grants your opponent's moves, you become them, obviously. You have more damage, but your crushing blows, if you get their crushing blow, is at a reduced damage. It's still pretty good, like in your favor. Just keep in mind when you come out of Soul Steel, you have to recover, right? I think this is the proper recovery, maybe. I'm not sure if this means of the move itself or when you come out of the animation. I think there's recovery. It looks like there is, so careful not to get punished. Okay, I think that's enough for normals and how to play him. Oh no, that's not enough. So back 3. I think it's a fine stagger, not the best. -9. Create some spacing, which is always good with him. When you do back 3, 4, -5, it's safe. There's no flawless block gap, but it's not hit confirmable. If you do back 3, up 2, up 4, I mean, back 3, up 4, there's a flawless block gap. It's an overhead. It's hit confirmable. So highly hit confirmable, meaning that if I see this, if I react, right, I can't do anything here. You can't react to just this touching and then doing something else, so you have to, yes, I see that it touched, right? And then you convert into full combo. So again, like I keep saying, this character was very well designed. There's a low here, it's fuzzyable, meaning you can just keep blocking low and react to the overhead, although online the overhead catches people often, even though it's 30 frames. So if someone tries to flawless block you, that's why Shangs do this, but usually you know, the way I play against Shang, as soon as I see this, I don't care at all about the low. I'll take the low if I have to take the low, and I try to just punch to interrupt the overhead because there's not just a flawless block gap, there's an actual physical gap. See? You can get full combo punished for doing that move, so be careful, that's a weakness. Okay, I think we covered it all for normals. Now we're gonna take a look at the specials that I enjoy. Ground Eruption, you've seen it. I like the control of spacing here. There's some nice pushback. There's a flawless block gap, be careful. You're more minus, this is -21 on flawless block gap compared to 16. So keep that in mind. Plus you don't get any chip damage, or you barely get chip damage when someone flawless blocks you. Yeah, so I like controlling. It's good for zoning too. Look at this. You don't have much to lose. Like, it's very hard to get punished from here, other than if they flawless block. Like, I'm assuming if someone flawless blocks the second one and then nitro kicks, let's say Jade, she probably is gonna kick you in the gut. So it's not entirely safe, but it's safe-ish, safe enough. Super kick, I absolutely love super kick. That's the rain one. The crushing blow trigger is weird. Like, I rarely see this one. Triggers if this move hits immediately after canceling a super kick. I'll turn off. Okay, easy crushing blow off. So that's what you have to do. You have to first cancel and then just let it rip. It's only 120 damage compared to 70, so it's almost nothing. Yeah, okay, so if you amp it, you can keep comboing. It's just a little bit tricky. There we go. I missed the last one. So we got about 300 damage. What's the difference in damage if we don't get the crushing blow? Yeah, about 40 more damage. Fair. Okay, so the reason why I like it is because they're mind games. You can cancel it. It costs a bar, yes, but still, right? So let's look at the spacing. Out of range a little bit, but you can back 1-1. You're going to be able to backdash. And then 4-2, things along those lines to whiff punish. But the thing is, it's safe on block. Like, if you YOLO it, you can just OS your amp because it doesn't come out on block. -9. Look at the space. You're not going to punish this. I don't even think Cetrion can punish this. Maybe, but probably not. Must be just out of range, or if she can punish this, it's like very tight. But anyways, pretty much safe, right? On block. It's a mid. It's a mid special that launches safe. Crazy. So when you cancel it, eventually people are assuming you're gonna cancel it. You YOLO it in their face, and it's safe if you guess wrong. It's not safe if they guess wrong for them. That's why I like it. Okay, so this is variation 3. You have the lift. The lift is Can't speak. The lift is essential, I think. Because when you jump kick, you can OS it. And it didn't work right now. Interesting. So I don't have the proper ender, which means that it's probably better not to equip slide. It's just too slow, right? So this is V3, but right now I think like force lift without slide, maybe with super kick and something else would be good. We'll take a look at a custom variation after. Yeah, so this is just good because you can OS this. OS your jump kick. On block it won't come out, right? For people who don't know what an OS jump kick means. So like I'm jump kicking, I'm special canceling it, nothing comes out. So the risk reward ratio is in my favor, strongly. So this means I'll eventually get free jump punches on him because he's so scared of the kick, right? Because anti-airing a jump punch is easy. Anti-airing a jump kick is not easy in this game. This hitbox is superior than a standing one in most cases. So when they're conditioned to keep blocking, because I keep jumping at them, and if they mess up, they get full combo punished. No, if they block, then nothing happens to me. So again, cost reward ratio in my favor. So yeah, if that happens, then I'm going to be able to get some jump once into it, and that means some easy guaranteed pressure for me. Okay, so shake. Let's talk about the trigger. Triggers if this move parries an attack twice in a row. Okay, so 1 has to be in a row, right? 2, sploosh, and you are in pain. So this shake is amazing to counter zoners. It's the amplify if you don't know what it does, so it counters hits instead of just projectiles. There you go, that's what it does. Slide triggers if it's at maximum range. What's maximum range for slide? It's so slow, that's my problem. Like, Sub-Zero has a, what is it, 12 frame slide? And this is 20. You have to amp it too. See, like I'm almost full range and it's so hard to actually get. You have to be pretty lucky. It's a YOLO and you might get punished. It's not worth it at all, in my opinion. Okay, so that's that. Let's look at other variations. Okay, Inferno Barrier, which has a closed version as well. So what is that? You don't see that often because it's slow. But it's a trap. You want to use it on hit. Set it up on hit, right? So that's the far one. Is there a far one? No, there's a close and normal one. So okay, close, normal. I mean, close on him. So if I'm full screen, for example, normal. It goes behind him. Can I get the close, please? Close, right in front of me. Right? So it doesn't matter where I am for the normal, it's always going to be behind him. So it's good to pressure. He's going to have to block or else he gets burned. You can set it up, like I said, on hit. There you go. It's set up and then pressure. Boom. It's actually pretty good. I like it. It's just because you don't see it often doesn't mean it's not a good move. Okay, and then I have Vial inscriptions. These are debuffs. The down back left trigger, or L2, increases damage the opponent takes, and down forward, L1, left trigger, reduces damage opponents deals for a short period of time. Okay, when you have to choose these, are they the same frames, first of all? This is pretty fast. Well, it looks fast, but okay, it's actually not that fast. So it's not bad, it's not bad. Sometimes I wonder, like, these frames. It's like 2 seconds. 53 of startup. 53 of startup. 52 of recovery. But anyways, it seems surprisingly fast for those frames. You want to use always, I think, when it comes to debuffs, debuffing your opponent's life. That's what you want to use, because you don't want to think about, oh, what if he hits me? That's not how you have to play this game. Like, yeah, block when you have to block, but your opponent's not going to kill himself. You always want to be thinking about deleting their left bar, because there's no other way to win. So that's why you should think about always, since the frames are the same, only using Vial Inscription. Increase the damage the opponent takes. Down back LT. This one here. Which, you know, you can't... Okay, you can tell. So the red one is it debuffs their damage, and the purple one increases my attack, essentially. You take more damage. So let's see by how much. 114... 93 damage. Okay, let's look at this one. 117. That's a lot. $263. $324 compared to 263. This is pretty good. Like, let me show you how you can set it up. Do this, right? Definitely don't do that. There you go, set up. And it's set up for how long? Alright, just like 5 seconds. It's not a lot, but it's enough to get some serious damage in, as you saw. So don't sleep on that ability. Next. Okay, Inferno Barrier. Did we just... Yeah, we just saw that, right? Okay, guys, that's it. That's all I have for you for Shang. Solid character. I would say he's in the upper tiers. Not top tiers, but not far. Okay, guys, like, comment, subscribe, peace.